All right, shalom.
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 First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And today, this evening, on Thursday, we have a few brothers from Great Millstone, Houston, going into Genesis, the 6th chapter. You know, just going over it. You know, iron sharpens iron. But, you know, we got advice from an older brother talking about, hey, just push record. So, hey, through the Spirit, we finna flow through Genesis chapter 6. And Lord willing, we pray it will be edifying to the Lord's elect. So if brothers ain't got nothing to add to it, we'll get right into it. You got it, Doc?
This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them.
Colin, hey, and just to add a note, when it says when men were born, that's referring to the other nations. If somebody could get Genesis chapter 3 and verse 8.
This is Genesis 3 and verse.
I got you. Genesis 3 and 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord, Yahweh power, walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord Yahweh power amongst the trees of the garden.
And those trees also refer to the nations. Showing you they weren't hiding behind literal trees. They mingled themselves amongst the other nations. As the brother brought out in Genesis, the 6th chapter, going into the, how did it say? When men, those are the other nations. And I got a quick one. This is Ezekiel chapter 31, and I'll start at verse 5. It says, therefore his height, speaking about Adam, it says, therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. And that's going into Adam. Whenever he was in the garden in the beginning, how basically he prospered and he flourished above the other nations. Because if you keep reading, they envied him. He was a man that was envied amongst the other nations. So just, you know, going into when it says when men, that's the, you know, the 3 classifications. You got the sons of God, the sons of the wicked, and the sons of men. The sons of men are those heathen nations. But you got it out.
I was going to say, too, I know a lot of Jake, mainly Southern Kingdom, when we have family reunions, you know, we have T-shirts and it'll have a family tree on there.
Right.
So it kind of, you know, kind of ties in. That's what, when it goes to like your branches, you know, you have like your aunts and your uncle names and, you know, the different, I'll just say the heads of the family and whatnot. But just going to the trees.
Man, anybody know that precept in Mark, I believe?
I got it right here.
Yeah,
okay.
20,
Go on.
I'm going to start at 23. And this is Mark 8 and 23. And he took the blind man by the hand, this is Yahushua, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking.
So that goes
right.
into the, so like
you got
that,
it,
yeah, that goes into the, pretty much like the family tree. What you doing? You walking around, everybody eating and drinking, but like Yahweh Shai, that's a cut to one body. That's a miracle right there. You know, he spit on his hands, and you know, just like what he did to us, he pretty much we were blinded, but now we have that eye salve. Now that we can see, so we become seers. We're going back into our life.
And then literally it's going into like Yahushua his eyes weren't completely healed yet.
Mm-hmm.
So just how he's seeing men as trees, like his vision wasn't completely fixed yet. But in the spirit, you know, it's men as trees going into the scripture.
Showing you the comparison, how men can be a representation of trees and trees unto men.
Right.
You know,
I think there's one in Judges as well. It's like,
and on top of that is like, you know, a tree produces seed.
Mm-hmm.
A tree produces seed, and the seed bears the fruit of the original tree. You know, it's not like you have an apple tree and it lays grape plants.
Right.
You know, so that in itself is like men. The Lord created, Yahweh Shem Yahushua created men like unto trees.
Right.
Because when you go to sperma, that's seed. But Psalms 1 and 3, just getting straight to the point, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. So like the brother was saying, you know, the seed, when you go into, in order for a tree to grow, you got to plant a seed.
That was Psalms.
Psalms 1 and 3.
Hey, I had one real quick. Just going into like your brothers are saying with identifying people as trees. This is 2 Ezra 5 and verse 23. It said, "O Lord, thou bearest rule of every wood of the earth." Okay, and just to give it a backdrop on this, to get understanding, this is Esdras. He's complaining, saying that here it is, we're in exile. Okay, he's talking with speaking to the Most High through the angel Uriel. And he's saying that the place that you have sent us to, I thought that they would be better than us. Okay, but it turns out that they're worse. And he's pretty much saying that just get straight to the point is, if we're supposed to be the number one nation, you're supposed to have love for us, then why are we in such a low state?
Right.
Why are we doing this? Okay, but it says, the 2 Ezra 5 and 23, it says, "And said, O Lord, thou bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine." Okay, and that only one vine, that's Israel. Okay, that's the chosen people, which consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, he was saying that that we are the chosen people. Why are we in such a low state? If we're the vine that you love, the trees that you love, why are we being done like this? Okay, and we know that at the end of the day, that's just how the Most High had it set. We had to go through this to understand wickedness.
Right.
Okay, at the end of the day.
I said that balance, but yeah, going into how certain scriptures can relate men into trees and trees unto men, that's why it's spoken unto parables and dark sayings. But you got it out.
This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 2. That the sons of the Most High saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
And going into the sons of God, somebody hold Luke chapter 3. Verse 38 is straight to the point. But also going into Genesis, the 5th chapter. Going into the sons of God. I'll get it real quick. This is Genesis chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, "This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them and called their name Adam in the day when they were created." So going back to the scriptures, that's whenever that day was, that's whenever that was fulfilled. The sons of God.
I got that, I've got that Luke chapter 3 and 38. It says, "Which was the sons of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God."
And going back to the lineage, tracing it all the way back up to the top, then going all the way onto Adam, which says he was a son of God. It didn't say he was a son of man. He wasn't the son of wickedness. He was the son of God. So that's a separation right then and there. Go back in that Genesis, brothers.
Who else holds that title?
Shit, Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Right. Which is
Yeah.
already. Con.
This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 3. "And the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Hey, matter of fact, let me read to verse 3 before you move on, just to show how that line continued through Seth. Just for a side note, back in Genesis chapter 5 and verse 3, it says, "And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image,
Right.
and called his name Seth." Now Adam was formed in the likeness right? And in the image.
Yeah, right.
So Adam passed that down unto Seth. And he
Right.
continued with that. You know, just showing you how it trickles down to this very day. So that's the sons of God aren't done away with. The lineage continued. It was a continuation all the way to 2023. Just to add that in there.
And when you go into Numbers 1 and 18, it's by your father. And like the brother said, the seed, when you plant a seed,
Right.
which is sperma, we continuing on. That's why we, 2023, now we're the Israelites. It's the prince of the power, Yasharallah. He prince of power, Yasharallah.
Yeah,
The prince of
back
power.
to the first chapter as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It shows you that blessed line going all the way to Yahushua.
You got it right.
You got
This
it.
is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
Hey, and Salaki, and just to make a point from the lesson we was listening to on the way here, the elder Yashawamba mentioned that he was in the book of Job, how Job mentioned that basically the younger, speaking on behalf of Edomites, compared to the Israelites, how we are the firstborn in the spirit, right? Somebody get Exodus chapter 4, verse 22 and 23.
It's like, what verse you on the Genesis?
4.
Chapter 4.
6 and 4.
Oh, it's
Verse 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
4 and 22.
Yeah, Exodus 4, 22 and 23. Then somebody hold Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, and we'll read through 13. Baba Kushab.
All right, this is Exodus 4 and verse 22. It says, "And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Israel is my son,
Right.
even my firstborn."
The firstborn. Just, side note, how Apostle Noah say, lessons come within lessons. But just to make a side note, because this is important to know, us being the Israelites, we are the firstborn of the Lord. So if you're the firstborn, you're offered unto the Lord. That's a difference within itself.
That's right.
Right? You got it out.
It says, "And I say unto thee, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn."
So the Lord told you, if you don't let his firstborn go, he gonna slay your firstborn. Literally. Read what you got out.
You said Wisdom Solomon 9 and 13?
You can start at Wisdom of Solomon 18, chapter 18, start at verse 9 through 13.
18 and 9. So like,
Come on.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 9. "For the righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly, and with one consent made a holy law, that the saints, which are the Israelites, should be like partakers of the same good and evil."
Right?
The fathers now singing out the songs of praise. But on the other side, they're sounding an ill-according cry of the enemies.
That's the Egyptians. That's them Egyptians. Keep reading.
And a lamentable noise was carried abroad for children that were bewailed.
The firstborns. The Lord told you in Exodus, if you don't let my firstborn go, I'm going to take yours.
Right.
Did he not?
But
So now, the Lord is dealing. The Lord is dealing.
what's that? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Right.
You got it.
So that just shows you, hey, the Lord's word comes into effect, man. So, hey, what the Egyptians did to us, even going back unto Moses, how they slayed the young men, right? Kill them all. But Moses received the mercy to be exempt from that judgment. But that came back on the Egyptians, as the brother is reading. Now they're bewailing their children. And as far as we know, according to the scriptures, that was their firstborn. You can finish it out.
Keep reading through.
Oh, that was verse 13?
No, I'm in 11. So like it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 11. "The master and the servant were punished after one manner."
Right.
And
So
like-
it didn't matter if you was the Pharaoh or the fucking dishwasher.
Yeah.
Your firstborn still got. He got taken away. You got it.
And like as the king, so suffered the common person.
Okay,
Just
just
like you said.
self-explanatory.
Just like
Pharaoh
you said.
lost his, and guess what? If you are a servant, you lost yours too. because you're dealing with the almighty power.
His word don't go out void.
Right. And if you keep reading past verse 13, it tells you who leaped out to do the slaying, which is Yahweh Shah.
But they say Yahweh Shah not in the Old Testament. Right? So,
Man, come on.
And also, being that the firstborn of Israel and the sons of God, you're touching the apple of the Lord's eye.
Right.
So what you expect?
Come on, man. You can't get away with that.
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon 18 and verse 12. So they all together had innumerable dead with one kind of death. Neither were the living sufficient to bury them. For in one moment the noblest offspring of them was destroyed.
Right. Mass slaughter. Judgment. From, like the brother said, touching the apple of the Lord's eye. Because them cries and them sighs reached the heavens, and the Lord did something about it. He raised up Moses. And just like in these times in spiritual Egypt, the Lord raised up his prophets.
And it's going to be the same thing.
And it's going to be the same thing. Mass death and destruction, man. And deliverance.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Wisdom of Solomon 18 and verse 13. For whereas they would not believe anything by reason of the enchantments upon the destruction of the firstborn, they acknowledged this people to be the sons of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua power.
The sons of God were acknowledged because your enchantments couldn't match what the Lord's judgment had to bring forth. Those enchantments, you can't hide it no more. You can't hide it. You can't do it.
That's the same thing as today. That the champions are falling.
Right.
Not only that, they're starting to acknowledge who the real Hebrew Israelite. I love when the Chicago brother, young elder Uriah, say, "We the real Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
Come in, week out. Day in, day out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom." Same thing was happening, before time.
Right.
To recognize whom, like we're going into the sons of God, the sons of Yahweh.
Right. And that's the point. Just to throw that in there, the sons of God were recognized even in the times of the Egyptian captivity. Oh, that's the children of God. Those are the sons of God. You damn right. So it has never been cut from Adam. That lineage has still been carried through forth even until 2023. Just to add that in there. But you got it out.
Okay,
Before you go on, can I read that's verse 4 again in the GNT?
Come on.
This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 4. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 4 in the GNT. In those days and even later, there were giants on the earth who were descendants of human women and the heavenly beings. They were the great heroes and famous men of long ago. And I just want to pull up that hero in the Edemon. A man of superhuman strength or physical courage. A defender or protector, being that we were given the laws, like we're protectors of the earth. We were supposed to defend this stuff. I mean, the laws are given to life.
Hey, that's what the Lord told Adam. He said, what did he say? Till and keep the land, roughly paraphrasing.
Right.
That wasn't just, physically, because at that time you didn't have to do that. That's going into what you're saying about.
But even in more modern times, John 14 and 2, in our Father's house is many mansions. We're going to be the guardians of the galaxy, just like the movie. But that's going to be us. We're going to have those. We're going to be the superheroes, like when we get these new bodies. What you got?
And this last one, man who exhibits great bravery. And coming to these times, we're looking to be those men that stood so stiffly for the word.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
But y'all got it.
I got that. Well, I have the word for giants.
Okay, good.
It's H5303. It's Nepal Yah, which means giants, aka Nephilium. And the root word is H5307, which is Nepal, which means to fall,
Right.
to cast down, to be cast down. So the fallen ones, Nepal Yam, which means plural for Yam. So it says there were Nepal fallen ones in the earth in those days.
Right.
And after that, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. So the fallen ones, the Lord's elect, the Lord's chosen ones, the divine seed line came into the daughters of men.
Right.
I mean, simple as that.
And
It
so-
wasn't fallen ones, was not angels fallen. I'm fallen. The Lord cast us out of heaven. No, it wasn't any divine beings coming into, the daughters of men.
Yeah, that shit don't make sense
Kinda.
at all.
Because as the scriptures say, when you pass away, you're like the angels. You don't desire sex. You don't have sex. You don't go into the daughters of men. So, hey, but you listen to these scholars. They want to say that the angels came down to earth and had sex with women and had giants, which is a total farce, pseudoscience.
Even with the hot topic now too, the virgin birth, same thing. Like angels don't have sex, and even if the angel did have sex with Mary, the angel would have been put to death. Why? Because that's adultery.
Con.
What you about to say something?
Oh, I was gonna say. So even though the Napoleon, those giants, they had sex with the daughters of men, they were still considered the sons of God. They weren't considered like to be
Fucking half
whatever.
half man,
Half-breed.
man,
Half
like-
breed.
Nah,
They weren't.
because
They
a
were.
lichen.
Like to the tree, the seed,
yeah. Well,
the
with-
seed
Wow,
of the
because-
fallen ones. The child is a fallen one as well.
But they show you that in I used to watch the cartoon
That's
Hercules.
a good point.
So pretty much they would have God who had pretty much intercourse with a regular woman. So that's why it's mythology.
Greek mythology.
Yeah, that's why it's mythology, because they try to mix that in with the scriptures. So that's why they show you that he's pretty much half God, half human, but no.
And that shows you too in the book of First Maccabees. It tells you when the Greeks started spreading, evils increased in the world, and that mythology bullshit too. That's whenever the evils really increased in that Hellenization in the Greek mythology. That's whenever all of that shit really took widespread. But going into how it said the fallen ones, that's coming from the sons of God being in that estate to basically you abasing yourself to be on a level with the sons of men.
Right.
And you're giving your sons and your daughters unto these people who are less than you.
Right.
Because the Lord always said we were above the other nations. They look at us and say, oh, what a great God. Through us, that's how the Lord receives his glory too.
But even still now today, when you go into the giant, they look up to us, even in the low state.
John.
That's
Right.
how you know that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites, which is the son of the Prince of the Power, the sons of God.
I got one to back you up. This is Ezra 9 and verse 1. It says, now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations. Like you were just saying, we have we're not known as those like you said, those fallen men, okay? Because we're doing according to their abominations.
Right.
We're trying to make ourselves equal to somebody that's less than us. We're taking back steps. You see, it says, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. It says, for they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands.
Ooh.
You see?
He said the holy seed.
Right,
That's a separation.
right, right. Because what is
Man.
holy, that means separate. And what makes us separate? We have the law, statute, and commandments.
The sons of God in his likeness, in his image.
Right.
That's the separation.
Come on.
You got it, BA.
Psalms 82 and 6.
No, I just got a little bit more to
you got
finish.
it.
It says, It said this is Ezra 9:2. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. So the leaders, which is ones that's supposed to be showing you
Right.
different, hey, they the chief in doing this exercise, doing these things. You see? You got it out.
I got a precept. This is 1 Samuel 4:8. Woe unto us! Who shall save us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. So that in itself is showing you that man, because Moses with Aaron smote the Egyptians, but through way of the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, but the Philistines saw the Israelites as being God.
Right.
Right. Psalms 82:6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Verse 7. Psalms 82:7. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
Okay, that's us. That's us falling. Going back to that word in Paul. So I said the giants. That's what it means. We shall die like the rest of you heathen. The rest of you men.
And like the brother was saying, we was created to be God. We were created to be immortal. But once we sin, sin brings forth death. That's Romans 6:23.
Hey, because Yahweh Shah said it himself to the Pharisees. Yahweh Shah said it himself. Are we not God? Are you not gods?
Mm-hmm.
The brother about to read it. Yeah, John 10, and you can start at 33 through 35, I believe. But read that one more time, Baba Kushah.
Psalms 82:6. I have said, ye are gods. Which when you go into gods, that's the Alahayim.
Exactly.
It's plural, and all of you are children of the Most High. Just like we're going into Yasharallah, he Prince of the Power. So if the Most High is our Heavenly Father, we his children, that's what makes us gods.
And that's the separation. That's the separation. Going back all the way to the top, how it said in Genesis 6:1, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. That's the separation. Those men were the heathen. Then in verse 2 it says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men. The men are the heathen. The sons of God are the sons of God. That's Yasha Allah. Now, back then it was the sons of God, but now it's the princes of power, which is a son of God. So it says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And going into what we're going into, that's how that falling came. Because we mingled, we gave our sons and our daughters unto these heathen, and look at the outcome. This is what we're going into. So you got it out.
This is St. John chapter 10 and verse 33. The Jews answered him, saying, for a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because thou, being a man, makest thyself God.
And they speaking on behalf of Yahweh Shah, right? Okay, keep reading.
And Yahweh Shah answered them, is it not written in your law, I said, ye are God?
Right? Did not you just read that? Are y'all not the sons of God? So how they were saying, we ought to kill him because he's saying he's a son of God, but Yahweh Shah was like, y'all are too. We are the sons of God. We're the sons of the Most High. Yasha Allah. You got it out.
This is St. John chapter 10 and verse 35. If he calleth them gods, unto whom the word of the Most High came, and the scripture cannot be broken.
Right. And that's us. Because the Lord gave us, as Arak Rakah quoted earlier, he only gave it to us, the Israelites, who are the sons of God. Just to add that in there. But you got it out.
This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
And that's going on now.
I got a precept.
Mm-hmm.
This is Psalms chapter 106, and I'm going to start at verse 34. It says, "They did not destroy the nations," meaning the sons of men, "concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works." That's how we fell from that estate. That's how we became wicked. It says, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. So that was a downfall. You know, that's a downfall. Falling from that estate of being a son of God, now you lowered yourself and became like unto a son of man, serving their gods and their idols, which are just images. Because there's no breath in them. There's no life in that. It's just something that was made by a man, and that's what the sons of God started serving, because they gave their sons and daughters unto the heathen. That's the effect. Cause and effect, that's what happened.
I got a precept to go. This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 9. "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" So your mind is wicked. Like, you read that precept what you just read again in Genesis?
Which one?
Our minds were given over, like, just to do wickedness.
Oh,
Genesis 6 and 5.
Well, just going with that precept,
Oh, okay.
like, our minds are constantly thinking about wickedness. Constantly. We're not even trying to. We go off.
You'll read Jeremiah 10 and 2.
Hey,
You had it up.
Hey,
You bring it out. You bring it out.
This is Jeremiah 10 and verse 2. You done with that out?
Oh, you good.
It's Jeremiah 10 and verse 2. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them."
And just real quick, man, that's the beauty of being amongst the men who, as you read in Genesis, walk with the Most High. All right, we are under the grace and mercy, so like we getting away from that. We strengthen our spirit against our flesh, so we don't think on and slip up like as much as we used to, man.
Right.
All right, our energy is geared towards that right hand energy, man.
Right.
Yeah, Con.
Oh.
You got it
I
out?
got one more.
Yeah, Con, you got it.
This is Proverbs 24 and 9. "The thought of foolishness is sin," meaning that, following these other nations, doing whatever they're doing, that is foolishness. Doing what they're doing, thinking anything about these nations, thinking they're above us, thinking that they're great. Anything, these are fucking beasts. These are low people. We shouldn't look to them for anything. But being in this low estate, under the curses, we got to look to them for everything.
Right, we should be the followers, we should be the leaders, and they should be the followers.
Yeah, they should be looking to us for examples.
Exactly.
But here in this estate, well, especially Jake, that's not woken up to this truth, you following after them. You trying to do after Moab. You trying to eat octopus, jellyfish, and whatever the fuck. You trying to be like Esau and shit. It's like, nigga, you don't smell like no dog. Like, this shit ain't for you.
That's the Most High giving you what you want.
Mm.
All right, you want to lust after these other guys, then it said it's foolish. Root word, fool. Psalm 14 go into the definition of a fool. So you saying, man, the one true living power, he ain't the one that's running shit and doing this idol is this, man. Which is no power.
Yeah. The Most High give you up to your vile lust, your vile affections.
Right.
That's
Romans 1.
Right.
Yep.
You got your woman, if she steady running around the street sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harriet, shit, you know what I mean? All right, bitch, go.
Yeah.
You want to go be with them? See how good they take care of you.
And that's the thing, just to add on, like, even whenever you ain't, like, in your glory, so to speak, but if you serve the Lord, just keep serving the Lord without getting all the fame and the attention. Because niggas seek attention by serving these other nations. Because they're going to be the spotlight. They're going to be the ones to shine among them fucking nations, which is That's expected. That's easy, Jake.
Hey, that guy, it's like, I mean, the cut shot reminds me of, who was that that went to China to go play basketball?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard.
That nigga averaged 37 and 77 rebounds.
Hey, triple doubles every game. I mean, what you expect? I mean,
Exactly.
you playing with, like, kindergarten compared to, I mean, your statue.
When
What you
Jake-
should be doing, you know?
When Jake is amongst the heathens, you have no choice but to stick out.
Right.
Yeah, they built a statue of Stephon Marbury.
Oh yeah, even when you see these tourist videos or they have Jake going overseas, like to China, Japan, whatever, they stop whatever they're doing. They just be gathering around taking pictures of Jake. Like this is a regular.
It's like,
You got it. That was it.
No, I was just thinking, we highlighting how Jake, we stand out no matter where we go. Now, like you said, naturally we should be always leading, but what Jake go do? They're the star. They the one that got all the attention, but they'll get over to that land and then they'll come back to America worshiping Buddha.
Damn.
They'll come back, fucking Morris Stoudemire. He come back claiming he Jewish.
Trying to push that shit on other
Hey,
Jake, man.
So instead of coming out there and establishing who we are, they latch on to the heathens, man.
Right.
Taking back steps, like we've been saying.
Hey, but that's the warning that the Lord told us. Don't give your sons to their daughters. Don't give your daughters to their sons. Or else, matter of fact, Basaman, you can read that, Baba Kushar.
1 Kings chapter 11 verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and the Hittites. Of the nations concerning which the Lord Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you.
Exactly. So the Lord gave us the command. Look, don't mingle amongst these heathen. Don't give your sons unto their daughters, and don't give your daughters unto their sons. Or else, who here is greater than King Solomon?
Ooh,
Okay.
not a one.
Exactly. So you got it out.
For surely they will turn away your heart or your mind after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love.
It's written. It's written. The Lord told you, if you do this, this is gonna happen. Just like the curses. If you do this, them curses go be in your mother effing A. Just like white on rice and green on grass. It's non-avoidable.
It's going to be on you as a sign, as the scripture
It's
says.
non-avoidable, man. So taking these instructions and not pushing it as far as like, look, if you got a heathen woman, no, that's not what I'm saying. Don't fall in love with these women. Don't fall in love with these women. These women are concubines. They're not wives.
That's right.
They don't follow after their gods. That's what it's pretty,
Exactly.
like the brother said.
You got it.
Slam back. That's the first commandment.
You got it out.
If you're not putting Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah first, well, in
Fucking
this
true.
case, he's Yahweh Shah, but if you're not putting Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, because like the brother said, none of us here are King Solomon. So if you're not following Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, what are you doing?
You compromise.
You're
Giving
going
your
off.
strength unto him.
God, that's what the scriptures say. Give not
Instead
that
of you
strength.
putting your foot down and look, now don't fucking have them idols in here. Don't
Right.
do this. Don't if I find out this or whatever. God, let you do that shit. Don't cover me with that shit.
Even
Then you give your strength unto him, and then what he start doing? He start erecting idols to those gods, man.
and I was gonna say even now, 2023, a lot of the witches nowadays is so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American ladies, the females. I'm not calling them women. I had to correct myself several times in the lesson earlier. Our ladies, the females, the nation of Israel, they're in the heathenistic state of mind. They're in the Gentile state of mind. So you can't give unto a God. Exodus 22:18. I suffer not a wish to live. You don't think they're gonna be burnt up in that lake of fire? What you got?
I had a job for a witch the other day in the area. She had, the boxes marked altar and Mammon and Buddha and Ganesh. And she even had a nigga, she had a Jake as her man or whatever. This nigga was under a spell. Like, this nigga, like, I say something to him, it's like, I think we were talking about, no, I was talking about that with Biana. Like, say, for instance, like, he was repeating everything I would say. Like, I would say something, and he'd be like, yeah, I say something. Something like that, you know what I mean? Like, the last thing I would say, he'd be like, oh yeah, last thing you said, oh yeah. But y'all got it. But for real, like, and this bitch was like nice. You wouldn't know. Just somebody walking down the street. She had a nice, sweet kind of voice, whatever, feminine sounding. But when I saw that shit, it was just like, I was fucking pissed. I told my brother about it, but
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. You got like in Genesis.
This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 6. And it repented the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
Hey, because that great fall, you know, the sons of God have fell. Shit, if a brother can get 2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 4. Going into that great falling, man, that's so much in effect why Yahweh has to come back and fix that. You know, basically like the fall of man.
Right.
You know, starting with Adam. The fall of man. That's why Yahweh is gonna come back to fix it. And that's where our hope, that's where our faith lies. This will be fixed. As messed up as it is today, as much as you're struggling and suffering, Yahweh coming back to fix it, man.
Yeah, he brought death in as Adam, and now he brought life, starting with the knowledge. He's gifting us with his knowledge.
Right. It's 2nd Ezra 3 and verse 4. It says, O Lord, who bears rule, thou spakest at the beginning when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandest the people, and gave a body unto Adam without soul,
Right.
which was the workmanship of thine hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life.
Right. Going into the understanding, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Adam was given the correct way to operate on this earth. The laws, statutes, and commandments, like the brother said earlier, it was verbal.
And what's the proof on that?
That's second, what is that? Sirach, the 44th chapter. I believe, going into
It's
Abraham.
real simple, just Cain and Abel. What was they doing?
The offering, the sacrifice.
Right.
Right. Cain's wasn't accepted. Why? Because the Lord even said, what did he say? If you do,
it was good.
Yeah, the outdoor was good.
right. Then he said, sin lieth at the door. So what is sin? Transgression of the law. So showing you the law had to be in effect in order for Cain to sin.
And sacrifice.
Exact and sacrifice at that. Come.
Finish it out, bro.
This is 2nd Ezra 3 in verse 6. And thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted, before ever the earth came forward.
Right.
It says, and unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed, and immediately thou appointest death in him and in his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number.
Right.
And every people walked after their own will, and did wonderful things before thee, and despised thy commandments.
Exactly. And we already went into that. The fall of man. The fall of the sons of God. You can read to verse 11. Huh?
It says, and again in process of time, thou broughtest the flood upon those that dwelt in the earth, it's like in the world, and destroyest them.
And what's the gonna be the modern day flood? Those ICBM nuclear missiles.
Right.
It's gonna blot out the sun. So it's gonna flood the earth. And then this place, America, Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon, you know, you go into Babylon as Babal, it's confusing. But it's going to sound like a lot of confusion because there's going to be a lot of noise, and the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunken, like in Isaiah 24 and 20 says.
And like you said, a flood, that's why Babylon is going to look like a lake of fire.
Right.
It's going to look like a lake of fire, man. It's going to be flooded with fire. And all the elements burning and melting. That's that second death, as the scriptures talk about. Got it out.
Verse 10, it says, and it came to pass in every of them that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to these.
Right.
Nevertheless, one of them thou leftest, namely Noah, with his household, of whom came all righteous men.
Hey, so going back into the sons of God. See, with Adam, right, that fall came, but with Noah, a descendant of Adam, it kept going. And like we brought out at camp Tuesday, through Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? From his 3 sons, but it continued with Shem. That's how we all come from Adam, right?
Right.
Come on.
And then also too, this like what you brothers are saying, like the modern flood. Then what did Noah represent? He represented that elect,
Right.
that will be saved now through the ICBM, the modern flood that's gonna happen. That's gonna hit North America. Okay, but that's what Noah represented then. He represented that elect. But you got it, all right? Wanna go back to that Genesis?
Yeah,
Come on.
This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 7. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. And if I can speak, going back to that, it says, man whom I have created. So man is a creature. Going back to what we were speaking about earlier.
I got one. I got a precept. How I said, repent of the Lord, due to us in that fallen estate. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 48. It says, O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned, thou art not fallen alone. Going back to being fallen. How it goes into giants. It was never giants, 30-foot men.
Right.
It was never that. It was falling from that estate of being the sons of God, where the earth prospered on its own without you having to work. Where you actually have to go out and labor, and the sweat by your brow, and your woman had to suffer birth pains. Before that, Adam had it. The earth was a paradise. It prospered on its own, and life continued being a son of God. You didn't have to worry. All you had to do was just uphold the law, statutes, and commandments. That's it. The beauty of it, that's what we're coming back to. But let me finish this. 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and 48. O thou Adam, what hast thou done? Like it says, what did it say? It repented the Lord.
I'll give it again. This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 7. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
Yeah, and going into, the Lord didn't make a mistake in his creation. I remember I heard a brother say, like, the Lord was like, damn, it's that dramatic. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted. This is how real it is. They're going to get the full balance of the positive and the negative. We get the balance, man. The other nations don't. So going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 48, it says, O thou Adam, what hast thou done? Like, this is a what the fuck moment. Like, what the, It says, for though it was thou that sinned, thou art not, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come from thee. So we suffer from that effect. We suffer from what Adam did. That's why going into what Yagadah said, that's why Yahweh will come back and fix it.
Right.
Yeah, that was it. Just a quick one.
What is that?
Matter of fact, I'm going to read. Y'all was in 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 48. Just going into how we fallen. And how Adam didn't suffer that alone. We suffered the consequences too. You can go back to that Genesis.
This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with the Most High.
Going back, showing you that it didn't stop. It did not stop. Moses was a man that the Lord chose, man.
Right.
Noah was a man that the Spirit continued to dwell with. You know, just like how Adam passed it down unto Seth, and so on and so forth, and leading unto us to this day. You know?
You had made the statement that Adam didn't suffer alone for what he did. Did y'all bring out Romans the 5th chapter?
Nah.
Okay, just real quick, before y'all move on. This is Romans chapter 5 and verse 12. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. And I was just bringing that out to support what you were saying. It said death came unto all men, and it said at the end it says, for that all have sinned. You think it was just Adam got it, and no, it was going. Jake was all getting down with this new doctrine, this new philosophy.
Damn. So like, you can read that one more time.
It's Romans 5 and 12. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. That's the whole beginning of the fall, was because of at the time the Adamites, they were started going off, man. Okay, and it says, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point where this brother getting into Noah. Now, by the time Noah was on the scene, the Most High was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm about to just end it all.
Damn. Yeah. Right. So many suffer, and just going into how the Lord don't judge one person individually. The whole nation suffers. Just like Esau, due to what you did, nigga, your whole nation finna be destroyed, bro.
Right. And they are wicked. All of them have that wicked nature in them, man. You regular supervisor on the job, all right, if they was able to switch spots and one of the top elites, they wouldn't be asking you to go to lunch no more. They wouldn't be inviting you over. Hey, man, bring the kids over this weekend.
Right.
No, they'd be in their proper spirit, and they'd have the means to be a full devil, man.
Right. Hey, I remember like we was on the block and the elder was saying one time, the elder Tasha Power was saying like, you shouldn't even feel comfortable around them, man, as an Israelite. And I don't. I be sitting back watching the Edomites sometimes, man. I say, you be surprised that, yeah, you up here with a suit and tie on, but when you get home off the clock, you be surprised at what they do, man, when they be at the house. Like what you had brought out with the zookeeper. You see? Oh, that was yeah. It's like, man, come on, man. That's typical Esau though.
What do you expect?
You know?
Job talked about that nigga.
Right.
Like, Job wasn't just being funny. He meant it. Cause you see it played out today.
Right.
This man will do that shit.
Right.
The spirit in him is not upright.
It's not upright. They'll come, they be all friendly, be just perfect, the way they talk, you know what I'm saying? Just real, smooth with it. It's
like
real.
butter.
Right.
Like the scriptures say, the scriptures reveal it.
Right. But you look, I see past that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Never
That's
trust
right.
our
What
enemy.
they doing? They being a serpent, man.
Right.
But they doing it on the left hand side. We got to learn how to be a serpent on the right hand side.
Right hand side. Right.
Them's the same crackers that's got our ancestors' testicles upstairs in a jar, you know, from their great granddaddy.
Right.
Same one.
Yeah, still got postcards of
Right.
God hanging.
Right. And their grandkids now today still got these things.
Right.
They know where it's at. They might not fuck with it, but they know where it's at.
Yeah, man.
Right? Oh yeah, Grandpa got them ears and them testicles up there. Don't go up in there. You know that's your grandpa's.
Right.
Quit sucking on that.
That's his trophy room.
Get that out your mouth.
Right.
Yeah, real quick. This is on RT.
Yeah.
You gonna scroll that? Come on up.
Lock in, bro.
Yeah. On RT, this was on Instagram. BBC producer pleads guilty to sexually abusing and killing over 40 dogs. Just to land back on what the brother was saying about Job.
And that was who?
Let me go back.
Australia.
The BBC producer pleads guilty to sexually abusing and killing over 40 dogs.
Now you can't see it because we're recording, but that's an Edomite right there.
Yeah.
When you look up. I mean, you listening to it. Whoever listening to this, you look up that headline.
Yashawama did a whole lesson on it today.
Right.
And that's not just one guy. That's all of them.
Right.
But
They might be into different things, but go ahead.
like I said, they didn't even go into the child
Children.
the child stuff that the guy had. They just focusing on the animals.
Shoot, they
He
focus on the
had
dogs
some
on
stuff
that
with he had material with children,
Right.
small children.
16.
Yeah, they all do. That's what they like.
Okay.
They like animals, kids,
Right.
inanimate objects.
Yeah, they just like the brother saying, they wicked, man.
Yeah,
There's
basically.
nothing, there's nothing bright in them, man. Like the scriptures say.
Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 16, verse 7. He was not pacified toward the old giants who fell away in the strength of their
The
foolishness.
Nepal, those that have fallen, those giants talked about in Genesis, the 6th chapter. Those are those men. The so-called great men, they were foolish, just like you see today. LeBron, Zion, Williamson, they look mighty, but they're deprived of wisdom. Right? Look what they do.
Right.
Look what they do among the heathen. Look at a James Harden.
Right.
Look what they do among the nations, bro.
Yeah, Shaq got to put on a thong and a wig.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey.
Did they just Deion Sanders
Right.
had on a
Yeah.
whole? That was recent, wasn't it?
He had a what? I don't know.
Had a whole weed
whole
He was
outfit.
dressed like a
woman,
man.
straight up woman.
I ain't seen that.
Blonde wig.
Right. Right.
But it makes
Yeah.
sense. That's prime time. But
Yeah.
look at the opportunities that he's getting presented. That's
Right.
how they talks to him coaching the NFL team.
Mhm.
So that just support
Yeah.
shit. Jake sell the fuck out, man.
But
Yeah,
that makes sense too, because I'm a huge fan of Deion Sanders, but just follow him on Instagram. You know, he pushes, quotes of the scriptures, but he don't have no beard on his face. Like, where's your
Right.
beard? Like, you Deion.
That nigga just had on a
Yeah, that's what I'm
dress
saying.
and was that he had on a dress and was
And you
twerking.
find that Bible can
Oh, no.
send that to me so I can make a lesson on that one, because that's one of
Now
my
hit
favorite.
on that
awesome.
scripture.
Yeah, no, keep reading.
Oh,
And
no.
this is pretty much it. The brothers had last precepts. Yeah, we'll end it with that.
Sirach chapter 16, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 16, verse 8. Neither spared he the place where Lot sojourned, but abhorred them for their pride.
Start back at the top.
Okay, come on. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 16, verse 7. He was not pacified toward the old giants who fell away in the strength of their foolishness.
Yeah, the old giants, those that fell from that Son of God estate.
Yeah, it
That's who
wasn't
it's
rock,
talking
man.
about.
No, I said it wasn't no rock man.
No.
Like they had on that Noah movie.
Right.
Oh, man, come on, man.
Talking rocks.
Yeah.
And I even heard an Edomite on a review. He said, that was the most blasphemy movie I've ever seen. Esau had to say that shit. He might not even be an Edomite. I don't know.
Right.
But that, like the brother said, bro, that is not biblical
Right.
at all. We sticking to the scriptures of what they really meant. You actually had sons of God on the earth, which were different. And the nations envied those men, just like in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 2nd chapter, in the last days, how it says the heathen are going to envy thee,
Right.
because they're going to see a difference. In the last days, whenever mercy is just time for judgment. But the sons of God, who really are the sons of God, they're going to be exempt with that tawah. Then guess what? They're going to envy them just like they did before. It's the same thing, man. There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, why you think the serpent came to get after Adam through Eve? He had to go to the top.
Exactly.
He had to go through who's going to have the most influence and push this.
He was noticed.
But that's the same today. A lot of men, like the brother said, the brother was going into the witch. The witch got the young Jake under a spell. But what did the serpent go through? He didn't go through the man and then put the spell on the woman. It was the other way around.
Right.
It's nothing new under the sun, like the brother just quoted.
I got a precept. It's going into slack here because this ain't gonna last forever. These other nations are gonna look up to us. What was that?
Finish that.
Oh, slack.
Let me
He'll finish
that.
that. We
Slack.
can end on that
I-
precept.
Because you probably got a banger, a hot one. Sirach 16:8. Neither spared he the place where Lot sojourned, but abhorred them for their pride.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And pride go before destruction. And then, as in the days of Lot, what happened with Lot's wife? She looked back. If you're looking back and you're looking into this world, you're gonna get hit with the more modern, the 2020 plus, modern day ICBM. You're gonna get that thermonuclear brimstone and fire, that fervent heat. As in 2 Peter 3:10. You got it, right?
God, this is Ezekiel, Ezekiel 11, and I'll start at verse 17. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where you have been scattered. Because us, the sons of God, we've been scattered in all countries amongst all people now. And continuing, and I will give you the land of Israel, which was the land, the Garden of Eden. And they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abomination thereof from thence. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes, and keep mine ordinances, and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God.
Hey, with that alone, that lets you know there's no fucking way that the second covenant has been fulfilled or happening, man.
Right.
Yeah, ain't nobody keeping all the commandments.
Right.
Name somebody besides Yahushua.
Find somebody who can't die right now, because if that's been fulfilled, then the people that's being used to carry that out, all right, they can't die, they can't get sick, they can have no punishment because sin doesn't dwell in them, man.
Right.
And that's what we're fighting towards, man. All right. It said the scriptures tell you, blessed is he that endure it to the end. You're not gonna know until it's at the end, man. Until we getting beamed up, we don't know if we ever been elect.
That's it.
Drop the mic.
Hey, so with that, we pray that the flock of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua was edified. So once again, we want to give our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom. Abba.